Hey team, Overseer Justin here. We're busy working away on Season 2, and I'm super excited about where it's going already. I cannot wait to start live play and have you all join in with us. However, before Season 2 gets going, I wanted to have a quick conversation with you about something that I think is super important. The new season of WGNR, which we are titling A Few Neutrons More, is going to be drawing heavily on Western themes and motifs. That being said, there are problems with the Western. One being its portrayal of North American indigenous people. No one in my story is going to be explicitly indigenous. However, I am lifting a faction from Fallout 2 called the Tribals. So when we say tribal, I want you to think entirely in the context of Fallout. So if you start to think that these people represent a certain group that exists in our world, in Earth Prime, I would strongly caution you against that. This is not a metaphor or an allegory for our world or history. We want to keep WGNR an inclusive and exciting place for everyone, and also stay in our lane and tell a fun story with a lot of heart. But I thought this would be an important conversation to have. So thank you for listening, and I hope you all enjoy WGNR Season 2, A Few Neutrons More.
War Games News Radio, Live Play RPG Season 2, A Few Neutrons More.
Ayo.
Oh, that is what we are calling Season 2, FFON, A Few Neutrons More.
Wow.
Welcome back to all of our players. Hello, players.
Hello.
And we're actually going to be doing something a little differently today. We're not actually going to be playing as our characters because we are going to do a new world building game. And I will get into that in a minute. But first, let's go around the horn and reintroduce ourselves. Let us start off with Mr. Grant, Mr. Rifleman. Or sorry, Grant. Just Grant today.
Yeah, today is just Grant. Rifleman is still, after last season, hopeful about the future and has his eyes to the east now for mystery, intrigue, and to see what adventures he can get into with Dookie Boy at his side.
Amazing. And then let's hop on over to our deposed overseer. Our brand new player character, Ryan. Ryan, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. I'm over here now. I'm in a different window. It's weird. I'm still here, but I'm over there now. I'm well. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to play the game. I'm excited to get into the campaign. But I'm really excited to see what we cook up here. Playing this quiet year here. Very stoked on the preamble. First time, long time. Happy to be
first time, long time. Yeah, I will explain that all in just a minute. But first, let's wrap up with our ever loving Raj. Raj, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing very well, new overseer. Glad to see you in the chair. My name is Raj, and I ordinarily play the character of Johnny, but Johnny's not here right now. I think he's still in the vault or like fresh out. Like anyways,
maybe in the bar.
Yeah, maybe. But not even in the academy yet. Really excited to do some world building and set some pieces in motion that kind of pick up. But again, let you get to that more. But yeah, happy to be back for season 2 and excited to see what happens to the team.
My name is Justin. I previously played Yuri Andropov, but in this season, I am going to be your overseer. Second season is going to be taking place in Kansas. How our heroes get there is going to be still a mystery until season 2 pops off official. But the setting will be in Kansas, and we're all going to build that world together. We were on a little bit of a break in between seasons, and I had an idea because I know of this game called The Quiet Year. The Quiet Year was created by Avery Alder. And just very quickly, if you Google this and head on over to Avery's website, you can purchase all of this that we're going to be playing today for $10 as a PDF. So if you want to play at home with your friends and play The Quiet Year, which is, I think, an amazingly fun game. I've heard it used in a couple different other podcasts as like a world building device, and I just love the idea. As it's been previously alluded to, it is a collaborative world building game. It's basically a map building game, and we're all going to play together. And we're going to make decisions based on prompts that come from cards. You'll see, I'm not going to overly explain it. You'll pick it up pretty quick as we're going. So it's a post-apocalyptic world building game, and I felt that was perfect.
That's our wheelhouse, baby.
That's our wheelhouse. That's where we live, baby.
Yeah, baby boy.
Yeah, baby boy. Yeah, none of that pre-apocalypse. Not for me.
That ain't us.
That ain't me.
That ain't me. I'm going to give a bit of a preamble here. Lore-wise, all of the events happening in this story, like this game that we're playing now, are happening 10 years in the past. This is very much a prequel adventure. That being said, do you want me to jump into the factions and explain sort of the players in the world as we go?
Set the stage.
We are all going to be playing, myself included as overseer, we are all going to be playing as sort of social and environmental forces. We're not playing as any one character. We're kind of just playing as fate, as sometimes weather, earthquakes, based on the card prompts. So we're not actually going to be playing as people. We're just going to be deciding the events of the past altogether. There are some factions. Now, for those of you at home, you might want to take some notes. It's not overly complicated, but I will go through it. So we are in Kansas right now. 20 years before this game, so 30 years before our heroes enter Kansas, all of the tribal factions were brought together by, as to be named, heroes and characters, but they were all unified together into one society called the People of the Land. Now, the People of the Land, all the people who were previously tribals and are now form one society, they follow what is called the Great Law of Peace, which is a set of social and legal rules, laws, that they have all decided to follow together. And this has ushered in an unprecedented level of stability and peace in Kansas. So the people of the land are the hegemonic, like, rulers. They have absolute control over their territory. They're stable, they're peaceful, they're very prosperous. Now, within the people of the land, there are a couple of other factions of, let's call them non-hostiles. There are what's called the Redeemers, which I guess you can think of them as sort of the spiritual branch of society. They are a faction of techno-druids who are basically trying to use reclaimed and found pre-war technology to cleanse the land and return it to a pre-war state. Then there are the Landsguard. The Landsguard are the military branch of the people of the land. There's a couple sub-factions in there. We don't have to get into it too deep right now. There's what are called the Coyotes. They're kind of more scouts and footmen, light armor, light arms, laser weapons, and whatnot. And then there's the Homesguard. The Homesguard are the heavies. They're power armor clad, huge, heavy weapon. They protect the elder and the as yet unnamed capital of the people of the land. This capital as well is semi-permanent. It will move around the territory as the seasons change. So they'll move from area to area depending on what season. It's not a stationary capital. There are also a group called the Homesteaders. Now, the Homesteaders are not people of the land, but they do live in the Kansas territory. They are remnants of the NCR, the Legion, or raiding groups, mercenaries, whomever, who have given up violent ways to live in the land and follow the great law of peace. And as long as they follow the great law of peace, they are able to live in the land. They do have a stationary home base, which we'll figure out as
homesteaders.
The Homesteaders, yeah, they have just a town that doesn't move. It operates as like a trading post, a home base, basically. Yeah, that's the last sort of non-hostile group, and then there is a hostile group of loosely affiliated raiders called the Locomotives or the Locos, and they're your raiders. They're dicks. They pillage, steal, burn, slash and burn, take anything that they can that's not nailed down. Yeah, murder anyone who tries to stand up against them. Okay. They're basically pests in the Kansas territory. They aren't necessarily like a threat to the people of the land, but like it's hard to eradicate raiders, man. We're in Kansas. Those are the people. It's now 20 years since the formation and the great law of peace.
Okay.
And now we're going to start playing after I've given that kind of long and I hope not too confusing preamble.
No, we got three different groups. We're 10 years in the past, ready to pull some cards and build some worlds. Worlds within worlds.
Worlds within worlds. So as you all see, this is our playing map here. This is how we are going to create this world that we're in. Before playing, we'll establish some of the landscape. And as we play, we'll update the map to reflect new discoveries, conflicts, and decisions. The map will blend literal cartography with symbols. Don't write words or anything. We're not going to write words. We're just going to draw some symbols. And that will denote sort of what we're dealing with. Got it?
Okay.
So don't write out any words or anything. And we're going to take turns drawing on the map. So as we play, for those of you at home, the turn summary goes really simply. We draw a card. We adjust dice for like projects and whatnot. You'll see how that works. And then the player will take an action. You can discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. And we'll get into those as they come up. We don't have to go over that. Also, if you disagree with something that one of the other players does, there's something called contempt tokens. So if, Raj does something that I kind of don't like and fucks with one of my projects or whatever, I can just say contempt.
Okay.
And that'll show my displeasure for what has just happened.
And like to some extent, the contempt tokens, as I understand them, are it's not characters or people who are having contempt. It's like, I think the other group would have contempt for the other group because they just tried to do that other thing.
Yeah, I kind of
this is like a depersonalized game.
Yeah, I can kind of see the locos both getting a lot of contempt and having a lot of contempt.
Yeah, they seem very contemptuous.
They're very contemptuous.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off. We're just gonna get right into it. After that, Grant, I want you to name a resource. Just name a single resource.
Water.
Okay. So I'm gonna write water down. We have water. I'm not going to write it on the map. That's just for me.
Okay.
Reverend Ryan, would you name a resource for me?
I'm going to go with what does Kansas have a lot of? What would naturally grow here? I think in a Fallout text, I think maybe razor grain has been allowed to grow in abundance throughout the
Well,
land.
no. Hold on, you're getting ahead of me. So
okay, maybe not abundance. Razor grain is
razor grain. Okay, you have chosen razor grain. Raj, would you do me a favor and name any resource that you can think of that might exist in the post-apocalyptic Fallout Kansas world?
Gasoline.
Gasoline.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want? Okay, that's interesting. Do you want to do gasoline, or do you want to do
like some type of fuel, or
is there a lot of oil in Kansas? Maybe.
Or I mean, you can make ethanol from.
Oh, you know what? I like that. That. Do you want to do oil? I like that.
Yeah. Yep. I do. Sure do.
I mean,
crude oil.
Sure. Yeah. Oil.
Gotta go back to basics in the post-apocalypse.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. And I get to name one as well. I'm going to name a resource. You know what? I'm going to say scrap steel.
Okay.
Railways.
Okay.
Scrap railways.
Sure, yeah,
Cool.
Railroad ties.
Okay. Who wants to roll a 4-sided dice for me?
I can do that.
Who's got one?
I got it. Grant's got it. I rolled a 3. 3
Okay.
is the roll.
So, in abundance, there is a resource of abundance, and that's crude oil.
Oh, you got it.
Kansas
nailed it.
flush with crude oil at the moment, and in scarcity for all factions is water, razor grain, and scrap metal. So we're going to actually start off in our season. We're going to start off with the deck, the spring deck. So Grant, why don't you go ahead and flip the first card of spring and tell us what it says? Yes, there's 2 options. So read both aloud and then choose the one that you want to play.
An old piece of machinery is discovered, broken but perhaps repairable. What is it? What would it be useful for? Or an old piece of machinery is discovered, cursed and dangerous. How does the community destroy it?
Okay.
Wow.
I think an old piece of machinery is discovered, cursed and dangerous.
Okay.
So what does that look like then? What kind of machine? What is it? And how is it cursed and dangerous?
I think it's a prototype, pre-mech sort of super battle armor suit, power armor suit.
A prototype
power armor suit.
Prototype power armor suit. Okay, where's it found?
I think that they are going to find that in Dodge City.
In Dodge City? Okay, who found it?
You know what? I think that the Coyotes found it.
Coyotes found it. Okay. And how is it dangerous? What happened to the Coyotes that found it?
There was intense discussion amongst the Coyotes that they should try to get this piece of machinery up and running again. It's not normal power armor, it's supersized. It's 12 feet tall. And there was discussion amongst them that they should use this or give it to the Homes Guard. And not everyone agreed. They thought this is basically part of what caused the wars in the first place, and it should be destroyed.
I absolutely love that, but Contempt?
Yeah, sure.
Who's playing Contempt?
I think that the Redeemers would take a bit of a slight to that because they think they could have put that to good use. As far as doing their redeeming and their reclaiming.
Okay. And how it is dangerous, I think I'm going to say it is just oozing radiation. Rads are just like, you can't safely get near this thing, even with very good hazmat.
Wow.
So I think that's how it's cursed. I think if I could take a liberty there as overseer. So
I believe you can.
I believe I can. So I
And
think,
you
Grant, why don't you go ahead and draw a little symbol near Dodge City that signifies this cursed set of giant power armor, which I fucking love, by the way.
Can we name it? Can we give it a name? What was it called?
Yeah, Grant.
Like,
what was
like
it
the
called?
little boy or something, like an ironic name, like
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little
What did they?
John.
What did the Coyotes call this?
I think that they did call it the Little John.
The Little John. Oh, I like that. I like that it has a cute name and it's so crazy dangerous.
We're building a fiction. Love it.
We're building a world.
Off to a
Okay.
banging start first card.
The second phase is adjust the dice. We have no projects going on, but as you at home can see, there's this big 8 on the side, which I'm going to count down to a 7. So 7, 1 week has passed now. The third phase is Grant, you get to take an action. You get to either discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Let's try hold a discussion.
Okay, really quickly, how discussions work is either you can start by asking a question, and then each of us make one statement in response to that question, or you can make, and then you finish off with a statement, or you can make a statement and we all just make a statement each.
I think I'll start with a statement, and then that's all I get to say.
Yes.
The Homes Guards say we need to study this to utilize its military power.
Okay. Raj, response to that in 1 or 2 sentences.
how are we reasonably going to get anyone to get close enough to it to study it that isn't going to put themselves in danger?
Ryan?
My statement will come from the Redeemers again. Military use is the least practical of its capabilities. It could move mountains.
And one of the elders coughs and pipes up and says, regardless of what we do with it, people need to be warned to stay away. It is poisoning the land. And that's the end of the discussion. Yeah, we all just get one. And that's it. Raj, it is your turn to flip a card.
Someone new arrives. Who? Or 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them?
Okay. What do you want to choose?
I think 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them? The discovery of some sort of like ancient relic, something that they thought, like, it's 2 children essentially that they found something really cool and they were fighting over it and they couldn't decide who got to keep it, kind of thing, and so they got into a physical altercation with each other. I don't know, like, is it a fusion core? Would that be like super like radioactive or something that they could have found like that?
No, I think that is sealed, like an old fusion core that's not like
Something pre-war, yeah.
They can get, I'll say that they found a fusion core and they didn't really know what it was or understand what it was and got into a fight over it.
Big time. Absolutely. That's what happened.
Okay, so there is now at least a single fusion core in play.
Kicking around.
Okay. We'll adjust the dice. There are no projects on the board yet. I will click down the world clock down to 6 weeks.
World clock.
And now, Raj, you get to take an action. You get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I want to start a project.
Yeah, what are you going to start?
I want to create a water mill. I want some sort of a device that captures running water and turns it into mechanical energy, like a windmill or a water wheel or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that sounds like a reclaimer project if I ever heard one.
It does.
Like,
Techno druids? That's
Techno
what it's all
druid.
about.
Straight up, yeah. Redeemers.
Would that be at the Cheyenne Bottoms wetlands?
I
Methinks.
I can't
Maybe.
see why not.
I can't see why not.
Okay. Yeah, so Raj, why don't you go ahead and draw just a symbol on the map to symbolize your water wheel project? And give me a number of weeks. How many weeks do you think it's going to take?
I think it's a modest, difficult project, but it's fairly simple design. So it's going to take 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
That sounds fair.
Yeah. Yep.
Where approximately is the location?
Just southwest of Salina.
Like,
Yeah, you're right. It's central. It's under the A. It's the body of water by the A there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
draw say.
I think
There
four
you go.
weeks to build a simple water mill is pretty reasonable.
Loves it.
Okay, so
Well-
I'm going to put this 4 dice by the water mill, and then every time we reduce dice, that'll clock down. And after 4 weeks, there will be a functioning water mill.
Okay.
Giant-
Bread's back on the menu.
All right, cool. That is Roger's turn. Good Reverend Ryan, go ahead and draw your card.
I shall. I will draw a spring card. Spring has sprung, and I drew. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where
Oh.
are they? What sets them apart from you? Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community?
Oh man, these are both so good.
This is a
I like this game.
toughie. These have all been tricky, but this is a good one. This is 2 very different roads to hoe here. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where
Awesome.
are they? What sets them apart from you?
Tell me who these people are.
Walk it back if you think it's too much, but I think some emissaries from the Legion show up.
I love it. Legion emissary.
I think not like a raiding party or anything, but like Hail be to Kaisar start poking their nose around down from the south.
Down from the south.
Down from Oklahoma way. They
So
start
as more
scooting
of
around.
like
Actually, no, from Colorado still, I'll say. It's like a scouting party from like the furthest that they got north of Dogtown.
okay, so more as like a diplomatic branch and not a military branch.
Yeah, just like kind of like testing the waters. Like Caesar would have heard, I think, maybe about this other unification of tribes elsewhere in the Midwest that looks very different than the one that he's put together. And
Yeah, because
maybe
his unification of the tribes was by fucking blood and thunder.
yeah, this is a very different sort of vibe here. So I think he just sends like a scratch and sniff group to just come and see what the scuttlebutt's all about from Colorado way.
Alrighty, why don't you go ahead and draw that community on the map for me? Pick a
Sure.
place where you want it to be.
It's a small sort of tent encampment. There's about 15 legionnaires.
15.
Yeah.
So nothing. And who's the highest ranking legionnaire there?
There's a Vexillarius amongst them. Who's the
Vexillarius. Vexillarius who?
Vexillarius Lucius.
Vexillarius Lucius is leading this. Ooh, I like this.
Caius Lucius.
Caius Lucius.
There you go.
Contempt.
Everyone
The homesteaders say,
Every-
fuck that.
Everyone disliked that.
disliked that.
Everyone.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a contempt token. Now, these are contempt tokens are also a limited resource.
Yep.
So we can only contempt like 20 times in a game, which I don't think that we'll need to worry about, but just so you know. Okay. So yeah, Caius Lucius, the Vexillarius is leading a Legion emissary in the corner here. Okay. I like it. Now you get to...
I get to do stuff.
Oh, wait. I'm going to adjust the dice.
Okay.
So 5, and then Raj, your wheel project, your water wheel project counts down to 3 weeks left.
Getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah,
So now you
one step at a
discover
time.
something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Right. I'm going to discover something new. I'm going to go with it.
What do you discover?
I discover a stockpile of fancy lad cakes is discovered in Kansas City, in a factory there. A Fancy Lad Incorporated.
Fancy Lad Warehouse.
Fancy Lad. Yep.
Fancy Lad Warehouse.
Yep. Had a stockpile of fancy lad cakes
in Kansas City.
In Kansas City, and it's a good haul.
Okay, I'm gonna say that it remains there, and they don't have means to transport it just yet. So let's say that they've discovered it and secured it as best they can, and sent a runner back to the capital to get some logistics.
Yeah, I think with there's a lack of resources, and the water wheel still coming. I think there would be a lot of foraging about going on from different pre-war areas, maybe groups going out further than they have in the past, and come across it's not healthy, it's not nutritious, it's not what anyone wants to be eating, but for in the lack of good nutritious food, it'll do.
Yeah. I will say that if someone can create a project to transport that, I will put Fancy Lad snack cakes on the abundance list.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So
Wow.
you've discovered something new. Okay, it is now my turn. Flip it. What do we got here? Are there children in your community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Ooh. Or how old are the eldest of the community? What special needs do they have? Okay, actually, no. I like this. Yes, there are an abundance of children in the community, and their roles are kind of chosen at an early age. Let's say that the athletic, fast runners, very athletic kids are kind of chosen to go into more of the coyote Homes Guard, while maybe the more thoughtful or smaller, perhaps more intellectual or youth that way are shepherded more into the reclaimers stream. So they're kind of chosen at an early age and divided up. They're kind of sorted into what the people of the land think that they would be best at to serve the community, which may or may not be agreed with by a lot of people. So the coyotes are kind of taught hunting, gathering skills, stealth, survival off the land, while the reclaimer kids are taught, science and computer skills, hacking skills, mechanical skills. I'm going to adjust the dice. 4 weeks on the world clock, 2 weeks on the water mill. I get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Ryan, you should do a little drawing for the lad cakes.
Oh, right,
yeah. You absolutely should up in Kansas, because I'm going to need that. I think I'm going to. Word gets back to the capital. I think that the elders agree that a untouched group or an untouched warehouse full of Fancy Lad snack cakes cannot go just sitting there, and we need those resources. So there's a band of coyotes is dispatched with some Brahmin to go and retrieve them. How many weeks do you think that would be to get all of them back?
Well, so where is back? Where's the capital during spring?
I think it's in Emporia or somewhere around there for planting.
Yeah. Okay. East, I like that. I would say, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move it a little bit down, a little bit more south and east. I'm going to put it right between Wichita and Emporia.
That's probably a quicker hike. That's probably only takes 2 weeks probably to send a team there and back.
So the only thing is that maybe bridges are out, but to get there and back with a big load,
One thing about this world is I don't want you to picture it like New Vegas or California. Kansas is rich and verdant. Like the reclaimers are doing a great job of what they're doing. Like there are obviously still scars of the apocalypse and whatnot. So it's not like a lush grassland like we would think of Kansas today, but like it's not a dusty desert. So
Sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get those fancy lad snack cakes back. Grant, it is back to you.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip. I'm going to have a look. You see a good omen. What is it? Or you see a bad omen. What is it? The homesteaders see a bad omen. It is a procession of vultures that have come from the west. This is very concerning to them. They are on edge for some time.
What do you think that the homesteaders feel about that? Like what exactly do they feel that omen is? An omen of what?
An omen of death.
Okay, omen of death.
I wonder why.
Didn't the Legion come from the west? Interesting. An omen of death and the Legion both coming from the west.
That was about two or 3 weeks when they showed up ago. So okay.
I like your little vulture that you drew there, Grant, as well. That's very
good. It's a very good vulture.
It's very good.
Draw.
For those of you following along at home on our fucking map here, it's
quite good.
It's goddamn clown shoes out here.
Good.
The balloon animal. So then I can either you count down.
I'm going to count down. So there's 3 weeks on the world map left. There is 1 week on the water wheel left. Ooh. And there's 1 week left
on the cakes.
On the cakes. Yeah, so start a project, start a discussion, or discover something new.
The locomotives, the locos, are going to ambush the shipment that is they want all of them snack packs. They're going after the fancy lads. They will try to get it as it is in progress back from the factory.
Okay, so your project is Project Smash and Grab.
Project Ambush Smash and Grab. Yeah, it's a little highway robbery is what that is.
Ooh, okay. Why don't you go ahead and draw that on the map? So how many weeks do you think?
Maybe 1.
Okay. All right.
They're gonna make a play.
How I resolve that next turn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back to you, Raj Paul. Why don't you draw a card of spring?
Why don't I do that?
Why don't you?
What important and basic tools does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is it a risky place to store things? I want to go with where are you storing your food and why is this a risky place to store things? Because we are storing our food underground in like an abandoned mine shaft because of the cold temperature. The reason it's dangerous is because there are death claws down in the mine that we've never seen, but we've heard. And that's why it's dangerous.
I'm going to say not too far from the outskirts of Emporia right now. The mines are there. They're old coal mines. Let's call them the Emporia Cold Mines.
Cold mines?
Yes, Emporia
Cold Mines. You have discovered a new location.
And we're storing our food there, our hunted meat and whatnot, so it doesn't spoil. But there are death claws that we hear in the mine. Is any of the meat and anything going missing? Are we just hearing the death claws, or is there any actual like evidence of like supplies going missing or like death claw scat or anything like that?
No, for the most, like we haven't seen any like direct signs. We haven't been getting wastage or losing our food. Otherwise, we'd switch locations. It's just we're afraid if we take a wrong turn or go too deep, we're gonna run into one of these things, and then we might be in trouble.
They dug too deep.
Yeah, it was a fucking frog.
They got greedy, and they dug too deep, and they're not gonna like what's down there.
I like that. Okay, cool. This is a fun game. God, this is a good game.
It's a fun game.
All right. So yeah, Raj, why don't you discover something new? You hold a discussion or start a project. Oh, wait. I have to adjust the dice.
Oh, our project's finished.
Yeah.
Yay.
All of them.
We've got a bunch of projects that finished.
Yeah.
So Raj, your water wheel is actually up and running. So let's say was that to transport water or was that to create energy?
It's to create energy, right? Like there's gonna be like a spinning something or other at the end of it. Like part of it will be a mill, so we can mill flour or from wheat or whatever is millable. But
So
yeah, to like make
on our abundance list, then I'm going to say electricity is now in an abundance, but only at the moment around this water mill. The world clock counts down to two more weeks until a world event happens. So the Kansas City, the expedition to go get the Fancy Lad snack cakes, and the
subsequent
smash and grab
ambush,
Grant, I'm going to flip a coin, and you're going to tell me who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for the Fancy Lad snack cakes to get back to the capital, or are you?
I'm not going to say who I'm rooting for because there is no Grant. There is only Spoon. Heads is the Locos take it. Let's say
Heads is Locos take it. It is tails.
Oh,
hey, that's suckers.
Lucky Looney. It gets back the Fancy Lad. I'm going to say the Locos didn't have a lot of time to prepare, just 1 week.
Yeah.
And the Coyotes figured on their way going out there that they might run into some resistance, and they came packing some heavy heat. And so I think that they handily dispatched the ragtag band of Locos and returned the Fancy Lads back to the capital. Gentlemen, I'm tired of calling it the capital. What do you want to call the people of the land's movable home base?
It's nothing. It's nothing massive. It's not a citadel. It is the opposite. I think that they don't think of it in terms of the stuff they move around. It is the center of them as they move around.
Ooh, I like that. Home is where they are.
Home is where they are. Yes.
Hearth something?
Nomadia.
Nomadia.
Unobtainium.
Something simple like the circle.
Ooh, that's not bad.
What about the canopy?
Yo, I like the canopy.
I'm trying to, I picture it almost like tent city in a way, right? Like tents and carts and like longhouses being moved and like movable structures, right?
Canopy circle.
I like it.
The ring.
The shield is circle. The wheel.
The heart.
The wheel.
Wheel I like.
So like the wheel always moving, but a circle.
The Three Amigos.
Okay, we'll put a pin in it for a little bit. Just get your brain going. I do like the circle. I like the circle. So yes, Raj, everything counted down. You get to now discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I want to hold a discussion.
Okay. Do you want to start with a question or a statement?
I want to start with a question. Do we feel it is best for us to continue storing our food in such a dangerous or potentially dangerous location?
It's a good question. Who gets to
why don't we go Ryan, me, then Grant, and then Raj can finish with a final statement.
Okay. The smart wisdom is to let a dead Deathclaw lie.
We're only going to be using it for another few weeks before we move on.
Even if the Deathclaws consume some of the food, the losses will be less severe from rot or rats.
And then Raj, you get to finish with a statement.
I believe it is best to continue storing our food in its current location.
All right.
Deathclaw cave it is.
All right.
Okay, Ryan, why don't you go flip a card?
I shall indeed. I reveal. A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Or an old man confesses to past crime and atrocities. What has he done.
Deathbed confession.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut and say a young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. It's the same two boys who went digging and found that fusion core.
Okay, these fucking kids, they're finding everything.
These fucking kids.
You know what? They've gotten 2 mentions now. Why don't you go name these 2 kids?
Okay, sure. They're Charlie and
Mac.
Mac. Sure, there you go, Charlie and Mac. Despite being warned off after their last altercation and discovering the fusion core from digging in this particular Corvega factory, and there's basically like a mountain over top of this this factory now.
Okay, so all right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a liberty with Charlie and Mac and say that they are heavily in the Reclaimers. They're actually, you know what? No, Charlie's in the Reclaimer stream. Mac is a coyote. So they're like, that's kind of like odd couple.
It's always sunny in Kansas. Charlie and Mac find a Corvega factory.
Oh fuck! It is from fucking Always Sunny in fucking Philadelphia. You goddamn cocks! I can't believe you made it fine. It's canon. Charlie and Mac exists now. You fuck.
Yeah.
I am going to count down the world clocks. We don't have any projects on the go, just the world clock. Go ahead and start a discussion, discover something new, or start a project.
Yeah, I'm going to put on the map my my Corvega factory to the north. Big F here for factory. It's I'm going to start a project.
Okay.
Word of this abandoned factory has gotten round to the locos, who are going to go ahead and start a very ambitious. I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably going to take maximum of 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yep. And they are going to go and raid this thing for all that it is worth.
Strip it down to its bones.
I think it takes so long because there's a lot of bones. This is the first time that this thing has seen daylight proper in 200 years. So I think there's some goods in there. So they set up shop and start stripping it down before anyone else can get there.
All right, so 6 weeks. We're gonna flip it
And reverse it.
and reverse it. There's a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? Or there's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned? Oh my God, this works out so perfectly. I'm going to combo this 1 to 2. I'm actually going to skip that and count down my world clock, because the world clock event that I have chosen for the spring is floods hit the low plains.
Oh my.
A massive, let's say once in 100-year flooding event has happened, and a large lake has been created just smack dab in the middle of Kansas.
Goodbye, Great Bend.
Huge fucking the floodplains have flooded, and now there's like a marshy swamp, pretty deep lake.
Okay.
Right there. I'm not going to destroy your water wheel, Raj.
Thank you. I was gonna ask, like, it's like, oh yeah, it's right here. It's right there. Man.
Fuck your
I'm
water.
going 4 turns for that damn thing.
No. I'm gonna say it's not destroyed. I'm gonna say that right now it is partially submerged. But that being said, like if a project applies to it, we'll just add like another week or 2 to it. But yeah, so they're just off this water wheel now. There's a huge inland lake that, oh man, I don't even know what it's called yet. Cool. So that's my card. Now I get to start a project, hold a discussion, or discover something new.
Oh, don't forget to count down my Raiders salvage operation.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Okay. Raiders salvage op goes down to 5. the discovering something new is probably the big fucking lake. So that's pretty
fair.
I'm actually, you know what? The Reclaimers, yeah, they're gonna start a project to start building power lines from the water wheel out to the summer hunting grounds for the capital. So that's my project. That's gonna be a big old, that's a huge project. I'm gonna say that's 6 weeks, because these are going to be permanent lines that go to the summer hunting grounds.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Just a quick second. So I would like to imagine that there will be like lines run out to all 4 areas in which
You would be correct, sir.
this moves out to, right? So okay, so if there's a lake in the middle with the fucking water wheel, and then I don't know, 4 spokes going off from each side, and they move in a circle, I think we kind of have to call the capital. I mean, it's the wheel, right? It's a wheel.
It's got to be the wheel.
It's got to be the wheel.
The wheel is the infrastructure they build so that when they are moving around in a circle in the territory, they have power, they have infrastructure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If there's four corners or 4 posts, well, 4 corners maybe, running off from each direction.
I think it's got to be the wheel, guys.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's you got to make the final call here, Justin. But you don't have to do it now. I wanted to.
Oh man, I do. Man, this has kind of organically come up. Okay, I'll think about it. But fuck, that's pretty good though.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Giant lake.
The lake. Actually, you know what? The lake is called Hub Lake.
Would you wonder if maybe we had water wasn't in such scarcity now with this giant lake?
Oh yeah, water's not in scarcity anymore. You're right. Absolutely. I'm gonna move that over into the abundance list.
Although drinking water might be, depending on where this water came from. If it washed over, say, a waste facility,
could be nasty.
Well, I mean, water is in abundance. I didn't say it's clean, drinkable water. It's water is in abundance. All right, cool. That's my project, is getting this water, the infrastructure lines moving to the summer living territories in Kansas. So who is up next? I believe it is you, Grant, to draw a card.
What's the most beautiful thing in this area? What's the most hideous thing in this area? I think that the most beautiful thing in this area is Monument Rock in the northwest, kind of by where the color changes on this map here. I think that the homesteaders have set up some kind of a pilgrimage site there.
Why don't you go ahead and draw that on the map then? Now, is this their pilgrimage, or is this where like the homesteaders like live?
I don't think they live here. I think that they just make pilgrimage here to remind them why they chose this land. It's an arch that they've built, and it overlooks the Monument Rock area.
And that's the most beautiful like thing in the area, I guess, for the homesteaders. But it's
for the homesteaders. Others are welcome.
Actually, you know what? That's fucking good. Homesteaders, that's like that's their slogan. That's kind of their tagline. Others welcome.
Sure.
You don't have to be weird to be from here, but it helps.
It helps.
Can we count down weeks and then I take the action? Is that correct?
That is correct. So I'm going to count. I'm going to count down the weeks. 4 weeks for the Corvega. 5 weeks for the electricity infrastructure project.
Discover something new.
What are you going to discover, Grant?
I think that the people of the land discover that Mirelurks are thriving in the recently created Hub Lake.
Go figure.
Hey, guess what's going on the abundance list?
Mirelurks.
Oh man, you know what sucks is that you have narratively created something that I personally, as the overseer, fucking hate.
Yeah.
What's that?
Mirelurks.
I absolutely hate Mirelurks.
Krabby Boys.
Krabby Boys. Yeah. Okay.
Krabby
So
Boy.
why don't you? Give their Mirelurks are. Oh, that's going to fucking. Ooh, that's gonna mess with the project. I think a little bit.
It might.
Yeah, there's Mirelurks
very well might.
all
Is that enough
up
of a crab?
in that lake now. Okay, making Hub Lake quite dangerous. Crab Lake. Okay, Rod, I guess it is your turn to pull.
There is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something.
Ooh. Ooh, that's tempting.
Radiation tornado.
Ooh. Oh, you're not gonna like this.
Radnado.
An alarming weather pattern destroys that lovely arch that was just.
Oh man, I contempt.
Oh yeah, I mean
Contempt.
against the weather. But
Yeah.
they're not gonna like it.
Can you
They're
put
not
that probably actually is a project. They're going to start building a shrine, and that is going to take them at least 6 weeks, and then a weather event interrupts.
No, you already called it that they discovered the arches.
Yeah, okay.
So
they discover it, and then it gets fucking.
It gets zapped by lightning.
yeah. Okay, so they discover it. It's beautiful. They are in awe of it. Oh man, the homesteaders are going to be like heavily into portents and omens and stuff because they all saw the fucking vultures.
Yeah.
And then their monument gets
and
smited.
then they found this beautiful arch that they loved, and then Raj destroyed it with a fucking rad storm.
They didn't even get it for a full turn. Poor guys.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Contempt.
Yeah, I love that. A rad storm blows in like while like they're making the pilgrimage, and they get there, and then like the worst, following this crazy flood, the worst rad storm in a decade blows in, and like lightning strikes through the rock.
The homesteaders are going to be wacky about like
signs and shit.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, that wasn't even it. Now you get to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion.
And the dice countdown.
And the dice countdown.
Could I discover a cache of gold somewhere?
Gold.
I want the gold in them hills. Find me some hills, put some gold in it, and I found it.
How about Flint Hills near Alma?
Yes, that is precisely where that was found.
And what did you call that in the Alm?
Flint Hills. Yeah.
Flint Chittles. Flint Hills.
Flint Hills.
Need for gold, baby.
Okay, so Flint Hills.
Here.
I'm going to add gold ore to the abundance list. We got to recap on your abundance list: crude oil, electricity ? Water, Mirelurks, and gold ore.
It's a weird combo.
On your scarcity list: razor grain, scrap metal.
This is turning into Settlers of Fallout.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
Can I have some razor grain? I'll trade you some Mirelurk eggs.
I hate that so much. Ryan, it's your
Let's see what we got here. We have revealed what group has the highest status in the community. What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common? The Homes Guard are held in one of the highest esteem, having the know-how, ability, and just sheer stamina to operate power armor for long periods of time. The armors become sort of like a symbol of this sort of warrior, sort of fucking battle mech Klingon caste.
No, I love it. It definitely flows into my headcanon.
Yeah. So, and then I think the second part, which I think is really I'm more excited for, what must people do to gain inclusion of this? I kind of picture the power armor that they're running in, like not quite like Raider level, but like not like Brotherhood either, like kind of like somewhere maybe in between, maybe not cobbled together, but like
I think what happens is the the Reclaimers and the Homes Guard kind of work together in that. I think the Reclaimers have like power armor stations and bays where they work on the Homes Guard armor. I don't want to be too reductionist, but it's kind of like you have to gather up your own materials.
And I think one of the places that maybe a lot of people go to try to reclaim and find their scrap is in and around Dodge City and the Little John. Like I think like there's like an abundance of like that type of like civilian power armor maybe there in that sort of
utility power armor.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like Fallout 76, like the excavator power armor. Like the working suit, like it wasn't made for combat. It was made for like being able to pick up coal. You have to find your helmet. That's it. There it is. You have to find your helmet.
The Homes Guard are like the elite. Coyotes are like the everyday soldier.
Yeah. Like if you want to go power armor, you gotta find the helmet, and then we'll talk.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's not like it's not like prescribed. It's like, okay, you want to be one? Go find me a helmet.
Come back with a helmet, and we'll see what we can do.
Come talk to me when you get work, son.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Only when you get work, son.
Yeah.
I think the coyotes have contempt for this process because they feel that without the crutch of power armor, they are in fact the more skilled warriors.
All right.
They turn their nose up at having their nose turned down at.
Okay.
Sort of like how motorcyclists call car drivers cagers.
Okay, I like it. So like, who are the people in like 40K who aren't like Space Marines, but they're on that jungle planet or whatever?
Oh yeah, like Imperial Guard, Catachans.
Catachans, or yeah. So like the Coyotes are kind of like a little bit like the Catachan. Like we don't need no friggin' power armor. We're out here in ghillie suits and sniper rifles.
We're good. Yeah.
And you assholes just hang out in the capital in your power armor.
Yeah, it's kind of there's the different divisions of the military, right? Like
Rangers and SEALs or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now you get to discover something, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I think the Legion's going to start a project. They're going to start sending parties to meet the other factions. A tour of the area, and I don't know, maybe take like 3 weeks to sort of walk the trails and get to know the people, places, and things.
Okay, now that's good, but
they're going to spread the word of the Legion.
That's
throughout
dicey.
the land.
Oh yeah. Man, yeah. Okay, contempt from the people of the land.
Everyone disliked that.
Yeah, everyone disliked that a lot. Do the locals care that the Legion's pissing around in the territory?
No, they don't give a flying flipping anything about what's going on. They are so busy scheming. They're looking for their next score. They couldn't care less. They don't have anyone looking into this.
I think actually, I'm going to go ahead and say that the homesteaders are outright hostile towards the Legion. All right, I guess that rotates back to me, huh?
I guess it does.
We've got 2 spring cards left. I'm going to draw one. Where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement and why? Or what natural predators roam this area? And are you safe? Natural predators roam the area. The coyotes are waging like a constant battle against geckos. Golden geckos, fire geckos. I think they're fucking everywhere out here.
Okay, I like
and I
that.
think actually not just the coyotes. I think like homesteaders. I think everyone fucking deals with these bastards. Like the little green geckos and stuff are everywhere, and then every once in a while you'll run across a pack of them, and they'll be like a big golden fucker.
Well, it's almost the end of spring, so I mean, I guess their mating season is over.
They've hatched. Yeah, they're maturing. Yeah. All right, I'm going to count down these dice. We've got the meeting of the minds from Caesar's Legion. We've got the scrappers up in the Corvega factory, and the infrastructure coming from the water wheel. I'm actually the homesteaders are gonna start a discussion. I'm gonna start with the question: is what do these foul omens and portents mean for us here? Why have these things happened to us? Grant, you're next up. You get to respond to that in a statement, 1 or 2 sentences.
On the shores of the Mirelurk-infested Hub Lake, the Redeemers send a small envoy and say that the problem is that we are living out of balance, and that the Redeemers need to have more authority to direct resources and activities, or else the omens will continue and our doom will be locked in.
These omens are our negative side. This land is hostile towards us. We should no longer be here.
The Homes Guard will step in and they will say, it is not the land that has turned against us. We have turned against it by letting these interlopers walk free. We should remove them from our home before they take it from us.
And yeah, the homesteaders say, yes, let's drive out the Legion from our lands. The homesteaders and the Homes Guard want to cooperate to get the Legion the fuck out of here.
Yeah, with the sort of they're looking for a chance to prove their mettle, literally and figuratively, after the squabbles. So they see this as an opportunity to suit up and crack some skulls.
That's from the Homes Guard. The Homes Guard wants to get out there and start busting skulls. Okay, all right. Grant, I think it is you to finish off our spring deck here.
All right. A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or, a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond?
Wow.
Okay. A charismatic young girl who has come up with the locos has decided.
Name her.
Rosalind,
the charismatic young girl.
She has decided that the Legion can help them and leads a revolt in the locos to split or to try to get as many locos as she can to attempt to ally with the Legion and to fight the coyotes with the Legion's help, and thinks that this is the last chance that they're going to be able to do this, seeing how the homesteaders are probably vulnerable and want to ally closer yet again with the people of the land.
So Rosalind is trying to lead a mutiny at the same time, team up with the Legion to strike at the people of the land and the homesteaders.
And she was burned facially by steam from a locomotive, so she is called Rosalind the Scalded One.
Rosalind the Scalded One.
Jeez.
Or Scald for short.
Okay. Well, Rosalind, nickname Scald.
She takes a group of locos and goes and
takes a group of locos and allies with the Legion.
How do the locos respond against Rosalind?
The locos see this as a threat. I think that senior leadership in locos thought that Rosalind would eventually take over in the locos, and so they were caught flat-footed.
That finishes out our spring deck.
Projects.
All right, count down the projects. Sorry, the locos fucking pillaged the shit out of the factory.
Oh yeah.
So the locos have an abundance of, let's say, materials, scrap metals and whatnot, tools, anything that they can get their hands on. Clock counts down on the project water wheel and the Caesar's Legion emissaries. So Grant, you get to choose start a project, discover something new, or start a discussion.
There is an abandoned enclave base discovered at Mushroom Rock, just southeast of Salina. It was discovered by the Redeemers.
Okay.
Good find.
That is a good find. Why don't you pop that on the map for us?
That's a door into a secret base.
Okay, door into the, you've got a lot of doors going on this map. You've got an arch over here. Door here. A discovered but unexplored enclave base.
Wow.
At Mushroom Rock. Mushroom Rock is what you said?
No, Mushroom Rock, yeah.
So that wraps up our spring deck. Now,
wow.
Now that you're all bought into this game and whatnot, I will tell you that as we move through the seasons, shit gets wacky. It gets buck wild in these decks. So the decisions are going to become harder. This was the easiest season.
Wow.
Yay.
Yeah, things are going to get more dire and desperate as everything goes on. And for those of you at home and our players, eventually we'll work our way around to the winter deck. And once we play the King of Winter, no matter where that is in the deck, the game ends. So all projects fail. Everything that's on the map, the story as it is, that's where we're going into season 2 with.
Okay.
So once we get to winter, like literally every pull could be the last pull of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a pretty good baseline here. This is some pretty wild stuff in this one season already.
Well, we'll move on to the summer deck. I think next session. You at home might see some discrepancies. We're going to film this in a couple chunks and then release them as we see fit. So we're just going to stop there for the night. Got a good, I think a good feel of the game, and the next 3 seasons we should be able to blow through. But there's a lot of crazy shit on this map already. We got Little John, the radioactive giant suit of power armor.
Yeah.
We've got Hub Lake here in the middle with a hydroelectric like generator.
And lots of Mirelurks.
So many
Plenty of Mirelurks.
We've got just a gold mine, which everyone has just completely kind of ignored for the moment. And a bunch of omens that apparently only the homesteaders are super freaked out about.
Oops.
They're not a big fan, that's for sure.
Oops, all omens.
Oops.
All omens.
The locos are splitting up.
What's that?
The locos are splitting up.
The locos have split up. There's a schism between the locos. We're creating a story already, and I haven't even put pen to paper yet.
Thanks for watching this first installment of A Few Neutrons More, The Quiet Year, and we'll be back next week with the season of summer. So stay tuned because, as always, WGNR will be back.